Uber has taken the world by storm, revolutionizing the way we think about transportation. How did this once obscure startup become one of the most successful and recognizable companies of the last decade? The answer lies in a combination of four key factors that have propelled Uber to the top of the transportation industry. Especially the last factor, it will subvert the way you look at the traditional business. Number 1. Disruptive innovation. Disruptive innovation is a term coined by Clayton Christensen, a professor at the Harvard Business School, to describe a new technology or business model that disrupts an existing market and creates a new one. Disruptive innovations often start out serving a niche market, but over time they can expand and take over the mainstream market. In the case of Uber, the disruptive innovation was the concept of ride-sharing using mobile technology. Before Uber, the taxi industry had been largely unchanged for decades, with few innovations or improvements to the basic model of hail a taxi on the street or call a taxi dispatcher on the phone. Uber disrupted this model by creating a platform that allowed anyone with a car to become a driver, and anyone with a smartphone to easily request and pay for a ride. This not only made transportation more convenient and affordable for consumers, but also created new opportunities for people who wanted to make extra money by driving for Uber. By disrupting the traditional taxi industry, Uber was able to create a new market that had not existed before. This allowed Uber to avoid direct competition with the entrenched taxi companies and to build its own customer base and driver network from scratch. Number 2. Mobile technology. Uber's app, which allows users to easily request and pay for a ride using their smartphones, has been a critical part of the company's success. The app is easy to use, intuitive, and provides a seamless experience for users from the moment they request a ride to the moment they arrive at their destination. Mobile technology has also been a critical enabler of Uber's network. By making it easy for users to connect with drivers and vice versa, Uber has been able to create a highly efficient and scalable transportation network that can serve millions of users around the world. Number 3. Strategic partnerships. Uber has formed partnerships with a wide range of companies in order to leverage their strengths and expand its reach. For example, Uber has formed partnerships with major credit card companies, such as American Express and Visa, to offer discounts and other benefits to cardholders who use Uber. This has helped to drive more business to Uber and has also given cardholders a reason to use the service more frequently. Uber has also formed partnerships with major car rental companies, such as Hertz and Enterprise, to offer rental cars to people who want to become Uber drivers but do not own their own cars. This has allowed Uber to attract more drivers to its platform and has also given car rental companies a new revenue stream. In addition, Uber has formed partnerships with other technology companies, such as Google and Facebook, to integrate its services with their platforms. This has helped to make Uber more visible and accessible to potential users, and has also made it easier for existing users to use the service. Number 4. Regulatory arbitrage. Regulatory arbitrage is the practice of exploiting differences in regulations between different jurisdictions in order to gain a competitive advantage. In the case of Uber, regulatory arbitrage has been a critical part of the company's strategy from the beginning. Many cities and countries have strict regulations governing the taxi and transportation industries, including rules around licensing, insurance, and safety. Uber has often found itself at odds with these regulations, as it operates in a way that is fundamentally different from traditional taxi companies. Rather than comply with these regulations, Uber has often taken a confrontational approach, arguing that the regulations are outdated and overly restrictive, and that the company is operating in the best interests of consumers. Uber has also been able to exploit differences in regulations between different cities and countries by moving quickly into markets where regulations are more favorable and lobbying for changes to regulations in other markets. This strategy has been highly effective in allowing Uber to rapidly expand into new markets and gain a foothold in the global transportation industry. However, it has also been the source of significant controversy and criticism, as many people feel that Uber is exploiting loopholes in the regulatory system and putting passengers and drivers at risk. In conclusion, Uber's success can be attributed to a combination of factors. While each of these factors has played an important role in the company's success, Regulatory arbitrage has been the most controversial and divisive of all, as it has often put Uber at odds with regulators, taxi companies, and even some of its own drivers and passengers. Despite the challenges posed by regulatory arbitrage, Uber has been able to continue growing and expanding its reach around the world. Whether the company will be able to sustain its growth and overcome the challenges it faces in the years to come remains to be seen. But there is no question that Uber has already left an indelible mark on the transportation industry and the world of business more broadly.